Hello again. It's 3 o'clock, so I think we are going to start this webinar about the Master in Macroeconomics, Policy and Financial Markets. Today we have the director of the program, Professor Hugo Rodriguez, who will be talking about the program. And at the end of the presentation, you will be able to ask any questions you might have. There is a chat down at the bottom of the screen that you can type your questions, but please wait until the end of the presentation, okay? On the left side of the screen, you can also see a channel. This is for questions about the admissions process and entry criteria. So you can jump in there to ask any questions you might have, okay? So I leave you now with Hugo.
Thank you, Sandra. Welcome to everyone to this webinar, and thank you for joining in. I'm going to share my screen and give you, I prepared a little bit of a presentation to walk you through the program. So basically, this is the Master in Macroeconomic Policy and Financial Markets. I'm directing the program together with Albert Marcet, and Miriam Arami is our program coordinator. And what I would like to talk to you about today is, first I will give you a very general overview of the program, and then give you like a little bit of a hint for you to decide whether this is the right program for you. One of the things that I really am more afraid of is that you come here to Barcelona and then you find out that this is not where your program, this is not where you should be. Okay, so just to be as clear as possible of what you can expect from the program. Then I will give you some information about our placement record, and in particular how we meet what the market demands on graduates, on econ graduates. And then we'll give you some information about who to contact in case you have questions, and then we can go on and and answer the questions that you may have. Okay, so this is a 60 credit program based on 4 academic areas. It's macroeconomics, finance, econometrics, and data science. And here you have the distribution of credits, in all these areas. We provide a total of 63 credits, so you have some room to have some election of the courses that you can enroll in within this program. Although you can take courses outside the program, I will talk to you about this later on. But basically, we offer 63 credits for a 60 credit master. Okay, so this is a macroeconomic policy and financial markets, and it seems like everything is, move around macroeconomics, okay, because it's the area where we have more credits. But I like to see the program more as 4 interlinked academic areas. Although some of the courses are in macro or finance or econometrics or data science, the contents of the courses, are between different areas. Okay, so for instance, in the macro courses, you have some 15 credits of courses that are purely related to macro, like labor markets or fiscal policy and things like this. But then there are courses that are also have connections with finance, okay? Or there are financial courses that have connections with macro. I mean, these are like pure macro courses that have financial content on it, or pure financial courses that have some macro content on it. So as you can see, there is like a lot of mixing of topics within courses, okay? So you can talk about econometric techniques applied to finance or applied to macro, etc., okay? So this is what I would like to stress. It's a program that searches for the connections between areas, okay? So that's one of the main, if you want, later on we can walk, if you have specific questions about courses, we can talk about contents in more detail if you want. Okay, so next year there will be 17 professors teaching in the program. 15 come from the university. Basically, this is Universidad Pompeu Fabra CREI, which is a center of research next to Pompeu Fabra, Universidad Autónoma de Barcelona, or the Institute of Economic Analysis, which is the place where I work. Okay, so these are basically academic institutions. Then we have one of the professors come from the Bank of Spain, and then we have another professor who is in the supervision agency of the financial markets in Spain. One of the traits that we have in terms of faculty is that we are incredibly close and caring for the students. Basically, we want to help the students understand the material. We try to go this extra mile just to help you. So you can reach us basically anytime. It's like we are there to help you with the material and to understand the courses. Okay, so this is something that we are really proud of. In respect to the faculty, I should say also with respect to the staff, all the program coordinators, the people that are supporting you in terms of giving you resources to study, also are very approachable and they're close to you. Okay, so this is something that we are really proud of. Now, I think this is one of the most important questions: is this program right for you? So let me tell you a little bit of what the objective of the program is. Basically, is to give you as many tools as possible to be applied later on whether you want to continue in an academic position, in doing a PhD, where you work for a private institution, or international institution. So basically, all these institutions, and also if you keep researching and studying, demand some skills and demand the mastering of some tools. Okay, so basically, what we aim is that to give you all these tools. Okay, these concepts, this way of dealing with data, to think about questions. Okay, and basically, at the end of it, this is a program that is both theoretical and empirical, and in that sense, is somewhere in between a pure professional program that only cares about the practicities and the empirical uses of techniques, and a pure academic program that is basically theoretical. So we are somewhere in between. It's like a kind of unique combination, okay? Because we understand, and later I will tell you about this, that the market demands a very complex mix of skills, okay? And then at the end of the day, this is a very demanding program. Students are really here to work, and they work a lot, but it's very, very rewarding. You finish the program with a unique set of skills that the market demands a lot. Okay, I used to tell students at the end, or ask students on graduation day whether it was worth it, and I can tell they are not telling this because I'm asking them, and I'm the director of the program. You can tell they are really, really proud of what they were doing, and also they feel that they have changed their life in a professional way, also in a personal way. Okay, so it's very demanding. It's very you have to work a lot, but at the end of the day, it's very rewarding. So what do you need to navigate throughout this program? Sorry, I think there is a mic on somewhere. Because I have some background noise. Thank you. Okay, so the program is fairly quantitative. So you go deep, not deep, but you have to understand some theory. You have to understand the meaning of some techniques that you have to apply. So it's very quantitative in nature, which means that it's very useful that you have a quantitative background, and at least at an undergrad level. Now this means some math, some statistics, and if possible, some programming, understanding some programming language. It doesn't need to be the ones that we use in the program, but having some programming language or knowing it paves the road to learn new ones. Okay, so and as I said, this is useful to have when we review the applications. We put all the information that we have about you together, but what we have witnessed over the years is if you come with a quantitative background, it's easier for you to get to the program, because otherwise you have to go through the program, catching up in your background together at the same time that you are, learning new material. Okay, and this is tough. Okay, people have done it, and I have cases of people who come without such a strong quantitative background, and they have catch up, and it's fine. Okay, but it adds a layer of difficulty and stress. Okay, so my advice would be that that you have this background, or at least to get it by the time you arrive here. When we go through the application process, to everyone who has been accepted by June, we also give some readings and some advice on how to prepare this background. Also, when you arrive here, there are some brush-ups that basically these are small courses that try to level up people in terms of the background, and then try to give them the minimum set of tools in math and statistics and in some programming too, to help them start the program. Okay, but it's useful to have this background, that to have some algebra, some math, some matrix algebra, some functions, calculus, this type of things. Okay, and also statistics, this type of things is really helpful. Okay, so the other leg we are very proud of is our placement. Over the last 4 years, about 90% of our graduates had a job of their choice within 6 months of graduation. Usually, most of them have already a job before graduation, but then sometimes, because of some reasons, it takes a little bit longer, but within 6 months, basically you have a job. The last year we have data for, which is the academic year 21-22. We're still collecting the year for the graduates of the last year. This ratio was 100. So basically, these students had a job very, 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 very early in their graduation. Okay, so this is important because there is a network of graduates of the BSc, of this master and other master. These numbers run throughout the whole BSc, which means that people know the school. They know that their graduate is, they're serious about job, and they're serious about learning, and they are very good professionals. And you have a huge network of alumni that are there to help you. And so this is like a nice procedure in which you get placed in the world, because there is this brand BSc that helps you get in place. Okay. Now, one of the characteristics of this master is that we touch lots of topics within macro and finance, which means that our graduates can go to many, many different places. Basically, our graduates have been placed in big banks, in consultants, in the public sector, like central banks. Central banks is one of the major employers of this program. In government, in ministries, in supervisory or regulatory agencies, in international organizations like the IMF or the OECD, and also some of our students continue to do a PhD in very good universities. And this is because of this versatility of our skills, the skills the program provides. Okay, so that makes you a very, very unique product in terms of the labor market. And that, I think, explains how successful we are in the job market. Why? Because, and I'm finishing with this, basically what the market demands is a list of skills. Last year we had, I think at the last academic year, at the beginning of this, at the beginning of this natural year, we had a meeting with alumni that have been placed in different organizations, in the private sector, in the public sector, international organization, just to ask them what they were asking to new recruits. Okay, and they gave us a list of things that they are searching for when they go to the labor market. One is that they want the recruits to be able to program in different languages. This means Python, R, MATLAB, these type of languages. They want someone who is proficient, not only in one programming language, in several. And not only to program, but also to analyze, to write a program and be able to decipher or to analyze the outcome or the output of the program. Okay, this is something they are very keen on, because they find good analysts, they find good coding people, but they don't find people who can do both at the same time. And they're very, very eager to find this type of workers. The second thing is to have strong quantitative skills, both theoretically and empirically, and be able to handle data. Okay, so they want someone who can get data, organize it, and think about a model, both theoretical or empirical, that can help explain that data. Or they're able to get a paper from somewhere else and be able to apply that to data or be able to apply those ideas. Okay, so they want that. And again, they find people who are very good in data handling but have no experience in quantitative skills, or the other way around. Okay. Also, they are very keen on finding people with data science techniques. Okay, and who are able to do forecasting and nowcasting models. Also, to be able to merge structured data and non-structural data. Structured data is data that that some statistical agency codes for you and structure for you. This is GDP, labor statistics, things like this. But then you have non-structured data that comes from, I don't know, newspapers, surveys, things that are not, someone does not, put a structure. You have to do the structure yourself. Okay, so they want these things to be also, workers to be able to do this thing. Also, they want people with soft and communication skills, so they don't want to have someone there sitting on a chair, on a desk, just doing work, not relating to anyone, not be able to communicate what this person finds. So they want people who can relate with co-workers, who can go to a meeting and explain in a clear and simple way what they are finding. And finally, they are very keen also into new topics such as climate change and digitalization. This is like things like central bank digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, all this P2P technology that has been appearing for several years. Okay, so this is the list that they told us. Look, this is what we're looking for. And then we we put this together with the context of our program, and then we find out that 4 out of these 6, demands, we actually provide them. There are courses in the macro program specifically designed to provide those skills. Okay, so basically you come here and you will finish knowing Python, R, and MATLAB. Will give you skills so you can understand and reproduce both theoretical models and empirical models. You will be handling data like crazy. There are programs. There are 2 specific courses in data science. There is 1 specific course in forecasting and nowcasting. Then you have to present your work. You have to, we force you to work with other students in the program. So basically, you develop these software communication skills. And with respect to the other 2, there are courses in the BSc that can give you these skills. Okay, there's courses in the data science program that can teach you how to merge structured and non-structural data, and there are this a program on climate change. So and then in finance you have courses in digitalization, and then you have this room to if you enter the program, to ask for the possibility of taking courses in another program. Okay, so with this, it's not that you have to be proficient in every single item in this list. It's just a matter that you can reach those skills within the program or within the BSc. Okay, so I think that puts you in a very, very advanced position when you graduate or before you graduate in the job market. Okay, so this is what the general ideas that I wanted to communicate you about the program. Of course, you may have lots of questions. Later on, we have, you can ask myself or Sandra about them. But also, if for whatever reason we are running out of time, or you want to to ask very specific questions about your particular case, you can always send me an email at this address. I can get back to you by email. If needed, we can set up a one-on-one online meeting. Also, you have a web page for the admissions department. And also there is this network of alumni that you can also address if you want, to ask questions. For instance, some people ask questions about, I'm from this country, I'm non-EU, what are the chances that I have a job in Europe? These type of questions that are more related to where you are from, that maybe you want to ask someone from your country of origin, or from your age, or with your experience, or things like this. Okay, so you can match with some alumni with same features as you. Okay, so these are the channels in which you can reach other people. Okay, and this is what I had to say. I didn't want to make it too long, but I'm here just to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. I think we didn't see the slides completely because I think you were kind of stuck in the first one. But if
sorry.
It's fine. We can always share more information with anyone via email if they want to have more details about the program. So now is your chance to present your questions to us. You can do all the questions in this channel. I think it's more comfortable for us. So go ahead.
Sorry, I was having my presentation and I was seeing it in my computer. I don't even know it wasn't moving on the screen. I didn't see
it's fine. Don't worry. Here we have the first question. I leave it for you, Hugo.
Okay. So it depends. Okay. So because it depends on what sector you are in, or you want to search for a job. For instance, people when they search for a job at the central bank, for instance, there's 2 or 3 graduates every year go to the European Central Bank, but also they go to, national central banks all over the world. They enter as a research assistant. Okay, they enter like in an internship, or they enter in a position that help researchers to go to with the research. This is the typical entering position of someone going to a central bank. But for instance, if you go to the private sector, you go to consultant, or you go to a private bank, people usually enter as analysts. Okay, so there is this. You can see the type of positions that our graduates have entered into in our webpage. There is a section dedicated to alumni and their placements. Okay, in particular companies and in particular institutions. But again, it depends on whether the company is large, and then they have like a structured career for people coming in a particular position. Okay. In general, in central bank, there are some positions, but that's particular for, I would say, for public institutions and international organizations, and in particular central banks, where to progress within the institution, you need a PhD. Entering positions with a master like this one, it's fine, but your progression within the institution for some positions is there is a demand for PhDs. For other positions, no. So it depends again on the institution. But what the program allows you is to enter into these organizations, okay, or in this company. Think that the typical thing that when I talk to employers is that imagine that you are an admission or a placement officer or someone who is deciding whether to hire someone or not, and they have like 200 applications for one or two positions. The first, filter that they apply is usually schools, and the BSc, pass this test very, very quickly. Okay, so again, this puts you in a position to enter into jobs that are normal for master students. Okay, but in big companies, everywhere. I don't know whether I answered the question.
Also, you can download from the website. There is a full placement report. But if you need again more details about this, send us an email to the admissions office, and we'll be happy to send more details over. Okay. Oh, James has a question.
Okay. So the evaluation process. Okay. So basically, you have courses. These courses, again, it depends on the courses because the evaluation. The grading and the evaluation of the process depends on each faculty. They are free to decide the evaluation process of their courses. Typically, the first quarter and the second quarter are these problem sets and an exam. Problem sets have a weight in the final grade, the same thing as the final exam. For some other courses that are more applied or that are more descriptive, or professors usually go with a project. Okay, that maybe you have to present in class, and you have to write in a research piece. This is basically the two types of evaluation processes, more towards exams and problem sets. Okay, but again, it depends on as you move towards the end of the program, there's more courses that are evaluated with projects. Then at the end in the last quarter, there is a master project. So it's a 6-credit course. It's not a course. Basically, it's a 6 credits that are dedicated for you to write a project, a research piece. Okay, this is something that is done in teams of up to 3 students, and these are evaluated with the paper that you write and the presentation that you give in front of a tribunal. Okay, and this is nice because it gives you like a first maybe access to research and to produce to have an output that is what your bosses in any company or in an institution will ask you to do. Okay, so and also you develop the skills to present and to write, which are very, very important skills that in this basically you learn by doing it. Okay, and not someone telling you this is the right way. This is not the right way. Okay, but this is the evaluation process of the program.
Okay, thank you. I think that the next question from Francesco is for me. Is more about the mandatory requirements to enroll in the master course. Francesco, you can find the general requirements in the website, but basically you have to hold a bachelor's degree, a minimum of a 3 years bachelor's degree or equivalent. And you have to hold an English language test, but let me pass you the link so you can find the information. But yes, you have to hold a bachelor's degree, 180. Sorry, I'm talking and looking for something for information at the same time. I'm not very good at it. But yeah, it's here. Sorry about that. If you have doubts about your particular case, send us an email and we'll look into it, because we know that Italy is a bit different from some countries in Europe. The scheduling is different, so just free. You can send me an email if you want. Okay. And the next question is for you, Hugo.
Okay, for the master project, there is a supervisor will be assigned to each project. Basically, the way it works is there are 2 supervisors, main supervisors, and these supervisors basically supervise they split the master project between them depending on the topics. And then there is myself, who basically supervise all of them. So basically, at the end of the day, there are going to be 2 people helping you throughout the process and, to prepare for the final presentation. On top of that, there is a teaching assistant that also helps you with the coding, helps you with the data, helps you with the writing, helps you with, the day-to-day stuff. Okay, so on top of that, if your topic is very, very, very specific, so for instance, imagine that you want to do something about the labor market, okay, and to a level in which neither of the supervisors can help you usefully. So then you can contact professors at the BSc specialized in that topic, okay? So at the end of the day, you're going to have 2 or 3 people, 3 or 4 people helping you out throughout the whole process. Okay, regarding the brush ups, I guess I'll take this one too. They take place at the beginning of September before regular classes start. These are 20-hour courses depending on the course, because some of the topics like math or statistics take longer. Some of the other courses take shorter. It's like between 10 and 20-hour courses. And they take place before regular classes start. And usually they start at the beginning of September.
Start 2 weeks before the first weeks in September every year.
Okay, so lectures. Okay, this is something that where the way we organize lectures is kind of also unique for this program. Also, some other programs also share this thing, but this is special for them. Macro, we start there. As you know, there are 2 campuses at the BSc. One is on downtown in Ciudadela. It's called Ciudadela campus. It's downtown Barcelona. The other one's the Bellaterra campus, which is in the outskirts of Barcelona, some 15 kilometers away from Barcelona. There is a nice connection. It's like 30 minutes, 35-minute ride from downtown Barcelona. Very nice, and it's always on time, and it's it's no problem to reach it. Now, the program is scheduled in both campuses. So during the first quarter, I would say, all courses except one take place in Bellaterra. During the second quarter, like half of the courses take place in Bellaterra, half of the courses take place in downtown Barcelona, and the third quarter basically is everything in Barcelona. Now, the thing is that the way they are scheduled is that there are 2 days or 3 days a week you'll be in Bellaterra, 2 or 3 days, depending on the courses, you'll be in Ciudadela. So you will not be moving back and forth between the 2 campuses. So you will be some days in Bellaterra, some days in Ciudadela. This is good and bad in the sense of, you have to move between the 2 campuses, but the campus in Bellaterra is nice because it's in the countryside. It's like lots of space. You are close to the professors. Like the campus in Ciudadela, it's nice also because you share it with other programs, so you can join the activities there. So basically, we try to organize everything so you can take advantage of both campuses at the same time.
Yeah, this is true. You have access to all the premises and facilities of both campuses, so it's nice. Juan Manuel is asking about the acceptance rate for the program. I don't have the figures here with me, but in general for the school, and this can vary. I'm saying this very cautiously because this can vary from one program to another, and it's about 60%. It depends, but it also depends on the year and the pool of applicants and stuff like that. Okay.
Okay. I think I'm not sure whether this last question about the energy program it's about this master, because there is a program in the BSc specifically designed for energy and climate change. So maybe this is the right program if you are thinking about those topics. Okay, and again, how your basic training matches the program depends on the program that you're considering. Okay, with respect, if you're thinking about macro and then doing the macro program with some courses in energy or climate or this topic, then as I said, math and statistics are important. So going through the math and statistics of a fairly general econ undergraduate program will give you the measure in which your basic training or your background can is useful in terms of going to this program. Okay, that's the question by James also is important. It does not, programs at the BSc, in particular the macro program, does not give you access to a PhD, for instance. Okay? So this means that if you want to do a PhD, you have to going through the PhD program from the beginning. Okay? So let me qualify this answer. Okay? Now, typically, if you want to go to a good school or a very well-known school, they will take you through their master program and then through the PhD. You will not enter into the PhD directly. You will not start writing a PhD dissertation directly. Okay. Now there are some other programs that maybe are less known. They're smaller. They want to attract good students that may allow you to do this. Okay, so there is this trade-off. Should I go directly to the PhD in a lesser-known, smaller institution, or should I go to another, a larger, better-known school that will allow me, it will force me to go to the master program. Okay, now going through the master is to another master is not a big deal, because then most of the courses that you will see there, you have already seen it at the macro program. So it will be somehow easier to go through that master, okay? And then to get good grades and get a good advisor, okay? So, but just in short, there's no PhD program attached to the macro program, okay?
I always say like that. You must check with the university where you would like to do a PhD or something to check the admissions requirements from them. Juan Manuel is asking from Uruguay about the timing. So there are two applications rounds. The first round ends. The deadline is January the 15th. And if you apply before this deadline, you should expect an answer around mid-February. It depends. Sometimes it's 4 weeks, sometimes it's 6 weeks. It depends on the number of applications and how busy we are. But yeah. And then Ben is asking about if he needs an English test. I'm sorry, my French is very poor, so I can read but I'm gonna answer in English. If you haven't studied in English, or you are not a native English speaker, you must provide an English language test, such as the TOEFL or the IELTS, the Cambridge, or the details are again in the admissions page, okay? And Jerko from Chile is asking about the GPA scale. You don't need to convert your grades, your marks. You just simply add this information on the application form, and then we convert them. Don't worry about that. I think Chile is in a scale of 10, maybe 20. I can't remember now, but yeah, don't worry about that. We can interpret we have candidates from all over the world, so we are used to it. Any more questions? Okay. if there's no more questions, I would like to remind you again about the deadlines. I strongly recommend you to apply before the 15th of January because this, probably you will have more chances of getting funding or admissions. And then the later you apply after January the 15th, the harder it is to be admitted and to obtain funding. So in any case, check the admissions website before applying. Make sure that you comply with the requirements. And if you have more doubts, we can arrange a phone call with you or, send us an email.
One thing, can I share one moment the screen so I can share the my address? Okay, so okay, so this is the presentation I was moving myself. So okay, so this is my. Can you see this? Because I don't see whether you see it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is my email address. Again, if you have specific questions that you want me to address or to answer, or you want to set up a one-on-one meeting, just let me know. Okay?
This one last question. We have still time. So, which companies hire the training the most? What is the salary after this training? This is a difficult question to answer. The salary will depend mainly on the country you're working in. It's not the same the salaries in London, for example, that in Barcelona, I would say. Again, there is a placement report. I'm gonna share with you the placement report here. Just a second. Again, it depends also on your background. If you got already, working experience, or you are a fresh graduate, so the salaries vary from one case to another. I think that's it. There's no more questions.
This one about Spanish classes?
Yes, I think sometimes if we have enough students interested in learning Spanish, the academic office, the programs office organize Spanish lessons. If not, there are Spanish lessons also on campus, at least in Ciutadella. But I'm not sure if you have spare time to invest in Spanish lessons. So my advice to you is that if you can, and if you're admitted and attending the program, maybe you can do a short course in Spanish for, daily life, doing the shopping, things like that. But in general, you won't need it for the masters and on campus. But yeah, it's always a good idea to do a bit of Spanish before traveling. Any more questions? No? Okay. So it was very nice having you attending this webinar. I hope you found it useful. Again, you can contact either Hugo or me. We'll be happy to help. Okay. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you one day in Barcelona. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.